wildlife habitat scheme. So wildlife habitat scheme, first of all, overall, when we talk about this whole integrated development of wildlife habitat, okay, this is CSS IDWH, centrally sponsored scheme, integrated development of wildlife habitats, which works on three basic principles. The first principle is the protected areas, improvement of protected areas. Second, the improvement of areas outside protected areas. And the third one is species recovery program. The whole idea of this integrated development of wildlife habitat project is to provide support to states for these three, maintaining the protected areas in their states or protecting it outside the protected areas or species recovery program. So help to the states, support to the states. Now, overall, when we see, as of now, what this has done under a species recovery component of it, it has already identified 4 species to be conserved in 2 stages. First, it identified a snow leopard and Asiatic lions for the conservation. Okay, then in the second declaration, it announced Great Indian bustard and Gangetic dolphin for the conservation. Now, in the third tranche, it has announced again 2 species for conservation, which is gharials and sloth bears. So, gharials and sloth bears. Now, with respect to these 2 species, the first one, when we are talking about gharials are one of the 3 crocodile species in India, the other 2 being saltwater crocodile, which is estuarine crocodile, and freshwater crocodile called as mugger. And there is this gharials. Now, out of these, gharials are critically endangered species. And gharials are earlier, they were found all across South Asia. But in the present time, only in 2 countries, which is India and Nepal. In India also, the major breeding population is very limited. Okay, major stronghold of the breeding population I'm talking about is Chambal River. Chambal River, along with that Girva River in UP. These are the 2 major breeding grounds which are there. You may find gharials here and there in other river basins. Okay, but these are 2 major breeding grounds of gharials. So the scheme has taken up gharials for the protection or conservation. The second one comes up are the sloth bears. Now, sloth bears, when we talk about, what is needed to be understood, first of all, are different types of bears which are found in India. So overall, 4 different types of bears are found in India. Now, these 4 different types of bears, this is brown bear, Himalayan brown bear. Okay, then this is sloth bear. This is sloth bear. Then you have Himalayan black bear, and this is called a sun bear. These are the 4 types. What are the differences? Basically, we have to understand. First of all, the differences is in the form of their distribution. And distribution pattern is very clear. Okay, on the India map, one, you move from south towards north. The species that you are going to find would be the sloth bears. Then you reach Himalayas. Up to Himalayas, extra Himalayan region, all and all is sloth bear. Then you reach Himalayan region, and in Himalayan region, the forest part which is there, Himalayan forest part, that is the part where you'll find Himalayan black bear. So for sloth bear as well as black bear, both of them, the habitat is forest only. Just that this is extra Himalayan region, this is limited to Himalayas. That's why called as Himalayan black bear. You go further higher up in Himalayas, you reach subalpine region, and there you will find Himalayan brown bear. So that's how the distribution is there. Very clear spatial distribution we find. Along with that, now behavioral differences are there. In the structure part, if you see, sloth bear is easily identifiable with its long snout. It has a snout, which is not that dominant in black bear or brown bear. That's first thing. Secondly, eating habits, in terms of eating habits itself, okay, both of these are omnivorous. This sloth bear is mainly insectivorous. Insectivorous, in fact, that's why they have long snout. Their long snout acts like a vacuum pump. And now from the ground, they will suck with the vacuum pressure the ants or termites. Okay, they feed on termites. So ants or termites, that's the main food of sloth bear. Okay, whereas these are omnivorous in nature. They do not have that type of snout. They are not insectivorous. Thirdly, in terms of their aggressiveness. In terms of aggressiveness, the most shy nature, I would say, would be that of Himalayan brown bear. Because anyways, it lives on the higher altitude where there is not much of the habitation and all. And so they avoid human beings. On the other extreme is sloth bear. Sloth bear is considered to be most aggressive one. Okay, and in between that would lie the Himalayan black bear. This is the difference. Then along with that now, this one is mainly terrestrial. Sloth bears are mainly terrestrial. In the forests, if you will see sloth bears, you will mainly see them moving on the ground. Whereas these are terrestrial as well as arboreal, especially this one. So they are arboreal. When we say that bears can climb trees, of course they can climb trees. These ones are the main ones. Okay, they also can climb trees, no doubt in that, but they are mainly terrestrial. Then comes the fourth one, which is sun bear. Sun bear, okay, because it has a yellowish collar over here, it's identified as sun bear. Although this yellowish collar somewhat you will find over here in the Himalayan black bears also, but not that bright. And in these sloth bears, you have white collar, okay, which is V-shaped collar over here. That's the identifying mark. And so over here, sun bears are not mainly found in India. Majority of the times we do not identify them as bear species of India. But there are few individuals here and there which have been found in Northeast India. So then still I can identify it to be a bear species in India. Got it? This is the behavioral species of bears, sloth bears, and different types of bears, the difference between them, and the idea of integrated wildlife development scheme or habitat development scheme.